I am sitting here with Jim League of Pat and Rachel Gardens. I've come here a few times to pick up my CSA share, which I think is just a genius concept. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the reason why I'm here is that Overland Park Farmers Market wants to highlight their farmers. So this month we're highlighting Pat and Rachel Gardens, and I've actually come to know them through the farmers market, which is, I think, such a great way to get to know your local farmers and vendors from around the area. But I think some of what drew me to Pat and Rachel Farms was the organic concept, because ever since having kids, I'm trying to feed them more organic food. And so would you mind sharing some of the things that made you start the farm and that made you go organic?
We started out certified organic, and that made it a little easier than transitioning. But we wanted it to be certified organic from the beginning, and we're one of the only ones in this area. And we grow, 40 different vegetables. We sell certified organic plants in the spring for those who want to grow their own certified organic tomatoes. We have an elderberry patch, we have a blackberry patch. Right now we've got some really good tomatoes. Quality is what we're after, not only certified organic, but my farm manager is Catherine Surser. She won't take anything that isn't perfect, to market, and it's always cleaned and shining and looking good. These are some of the garlics that we just harvested, and we are curing them right now.
So if you ever are scared of vampires, you just take a nap in the garlic curing
Yeah.
area. What made you decide organic versus conventional? What was that decision factor for you?
We had a client in Lawrence who, it was Hillary's Eat Well. They sell organic veggie burgers worldwide.
I've had them.
They needed organic, and so I said, okay, well, we'll make sure so we got certified there, and then we actually expanded our kitchen to include a large processor and dicer and vegetable washer, so that we could supply wholesale to Hillary's. When Catherine came aboard, we kind of changed our business plan to sell direct to consumers, and that's what we've been doing ever since. So it does set us apart. The prices are a little bit higher. It's more expensive to grow organic because you can't do certain things that make it easy. I'm a retired school teacher. This is really more of a hobby for me. Keeps me off the street.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Because I know you're pretty busy too. I think you have quite a few kids they put out into the world, and grandkids now too that like to come visit you. It was hard for me to find the time to even get you in front of the camera so I could interview you.
My grandson from San Diego and I were catching bass yesterday in that pond right down there. Nice. We irrigate everything. We have an underground irrigation system that we put in, and it pulls water from that pond and drip irrigates all of our different fields.
Oh, wow. I look out here and I'm like, oh, this looks so idyllic and nice, and there are so many challenges though that you have to go through.
Well, it was too wet. We couldn't get in and plant our potatoes, and then it was too hot, and then it was, it's like you just
Mother Nature gives, and Mother Nature
you expect nothing.
Does whatever she wants.
Always perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not a fanatic about organic. I try to be ordinary as much as possible. Yeah. There's so much we don't know about the effects of all the pesticides and herbicides, and I drive by coming out here. There's a field that had soybeans in it last year. They haven't planted anything in it this year. There's not a weed in it. And like our fields, you just can't keep the weeds, you got to constantly be doing something to keep them down. And it looks sterile to me. The reason there's no weeds in there is because they sprayed something on there.
Yeah.
And do you want that in your body? We focus on quality. A lot of the farmers I know aren't certified organic, but they use a lot of the practices that are required by the USDA. For example, crop rotation. If you plant squash in the same place, unless you have insecticides, they're gonna destroy your crop next year, because they will have found it, and they will reproduce, and there'll be lots of insects to work on. And this crop rotation has been done since the Roman times.
Yeah, because back in the day they didn't have fertilizers, and like we have today.
So that's an example. We have blackberries that were destroyed by the Japanese beetle. We'd never seen the Japanese beetle about 4 years ago. All of a sudden this bug shows up, and it starts nibbling on each and every berry, just so you can't sell it, And so we didn't have a crop that year. And then we started looking into it, and there are lots of ways that you can prevent it. The best way, we have grapevines planted as a trap plant, and they like grapevines more than they like the blackberries.
Oh shoot, I just planted grapevines in my garden.
Well, that's okay. So they go to the grapevines and they start riddling those leaves. We go out every morning with a bucket of soapy water and knock them into the soapy water. So you get 50, then 40,
wow.
And then 30, and then 20, and then 10. By the time the fruit is on there, we've pretty much eradicated them by hand. So those are some examples, of what we do. If you could spray, then you wouldn't have to do all that work, but we don't do that.
I'm from Germany, so I grew up differently, and a lot of the different kinds of herbicides, pesticides, fertilizers are banned in the EU, and they're still being used here, and those things always make me question, okay, is this something that I should be eating, and how do I know that I'm not eating it unless I'm buying organic? So that's...
Well, we have bees, and there's a real problem here in this country with bees dying. We lost 3 hives last year. My neighbor lost 9.
Wow.
And I have seen some documentaries from Europe where they think it doesn't kill the adult bees, but it does something. The pesticides do something to the nervous system of the babies, and it makes them weaker somehow. And so it isn't a direct necessarily, but I don't know. We really have a problem here in this country with the bees dying. There are people in France that are donning bee costumes and parading in the streets to prevent the pesticides. So
yeah, because I guess if you don't have bees, you don't get a lot of crops. So
yeah, you have to have pollination. And
is it really more expensive to then do organic, or is it more expensive to not get as much crop because you're killing the bees to help you get more crop?
Right.
I don't know. All these questions.
Yeah.
All right. So
we'll probably find out after it's too late. What the effects were.
The one thing that we can do is maybe shop local.
Yeah.
Shop organic, and hope that helps. I don't know. We'll never know unless we try it. I know you're holding some garlic, so I know that's going to come up in my CSA. I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
They're about there.
What else are you currently harvesting?
Well, we harvested cherry tomatoes. They got little new potatoes this week. The CSA members did. Our blackberries are just about there.
Nice.
And to give you an example of our what we call value-added processing, if we pick our strawberries on Monday, they're not going to keep until Saturday, because we pick them when they're perfectly ripe and they taste like strawberries. And so what we do with those is we freeze dry them, or we turn them into strawberry jam, or we freeze them. And then when we pick later in the week, those are the ones we take to market. So in the past, what are you going to do with those strawberries that are ready? Well, a lot of them just end up in the compost heap, so.
My kids would eat all of those strawberries.
I know. Strawberries are so good.
Yeah.
Blackberries the same way, and we make a blackberry jam. We make a mixed berry jam.
And they're so good. I love them on buttered bread. I actually bake my own bread. I'm kind of a bread fanatic, so I make like sourdough bread myself. But yeah.
Yeah, the lemon blueberry is one of our favorite best sellers.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I love that one. I think I got some strawberry jam last time, so but yeah, I'm kind of saving it for
One of the
some
things
sad winter days usually.
I have a doctorate, and so research is kind of one of my things, and I got interested in this value-added processing, and we've had 3 grants from the USDA called SARE, which is Sustainable Agriculture. Sustainable Agriculture.
It's okay.
What's the R? I don't remember. Research and education. There you go. Maybe I should say that over. SARE is Sustainable Agriculture, Research and Education. And so we got a grant to explore this idea of value-added processing and see how it would help small farms be more economically feasible and get their, sell more of the products they make. Especially in the winter, we have a winter CSA, and in the winter, most people that are growing things don't have it much to sell. So 90% of our things we still sell in the winter. We sell soups that we make, and we sell salsas and pickles and jams.
And the soups and the pickles are amazing.
And then we got a freeze dryer just to play with it, because we didn't even know what it was. And it's been amazing. We freeze dry all of our herbs, and they are more potent and more colorful. We also freeze dry our soups so that you can make them by just adding water.
Basically astronaut food.
Well, it tastes exactly as good as it did when it came out of the pot.
Except better quality.
It is. I don't know what the astronauts ate out of a tube or something. We now have 2 freeze dryers, and they're going all the time.
Did I read that right? I think Catherine shared something where you just awarded another grant.
We were awarded one, and it's a matching grant, so we have to spend $1 to get $1 from the government.
But I'm sure you're spending enough to
to
make it happen.
It takes a lot of work, but it is expanding our capacity.
Good.
And hopefully we'll be able to sell. We've got some new products in the works. One of the products is salad dressing mix, and then the other one, it came from the Overland Park Market. The leaders there, the people that run the show, kept bugging me about baby food.
Oh, can you tell me just a little bit more about the CSA? How much does it cost? Where can people sign up? In a way, it also empowers you, right? Because then okay, we have so much demand that is promised to us, and we're now able to fulfill those orders, and we can expand maybe our practices, right? So it's good for you guys to be able to operate your business.
There's a lot of good things about CSA. Probably the best one is the personal contact with the person and people that are growing your food. It's hard to put a value on that, but to know them and to trust them, and then to taste the quality that you get, that's a great advantage. And you can either pick it up here at the farm, or you can pick it up at either Brookside or Overland Park at our market. It's like I say, $30 a week. You get a big batch of food. I mean, there's a lot of different things you get. And so this week, you're going to get some, I think she had kale, we had small potatoes, we have cucumbers, we have basil, we have some of these salad turnips. Did she have garlic in there? I'm not sure.
Last week not, but I don't know.
Blackberries are coming.
Oh, yeah.
Cherry tomatoes was the first time this week they got cherry tomatoes. One other thing that if you join the CSA, it helps the farmer because we get paid in advance, and a lot of our cash flow issues are before, we spent $2,000 buying seeds in the end of December and beginning of January. So that helps us financially. And then you also are kind of feeling the risk of what a real farmer does, so that if our blackberries get wiped out, then you don't get any, you get something else. But what's available is what you're going to get, and so you kind of get more in tune with the seasons and what grows in Kansas
Yep.
in July.
Exactly. But that's exactly how I grew up too.
Yeah.
Like in Germany, if you go into a grocery store in the winter, you're not going to see strawberries.
No.
And here
If
it's
you
like
do, they aren't going to taste like strawberries.
yeah, but
They're gonna
they
look like
you know, they get shipped in from far away.
Yeah.
They may not taste as good. They don't look as good. They're super expensive. Like there's so
Yeah.
many advantages to eating
Yeah.
seasonal food that's
Right.
locally made on top of it. And it's better for the planet too. So
And we limit our CSA to a certain number. Right now, we still have some spots open, and you just go to the website and sign up.
yeah, so it's prorated. So if you like start late in the season, you only pay for that leftover amount of time that you're getting to take advantage of it. And then also, I was reading, I haven't like committed to this yet because we're traveling quite a bit, and you can skip 1 week, I think.
You have a rain check week.
You have a rain
Yeah.
check week, and then after that, like you can have friends pick it up or somebody else for you. But if you do sign up for several seasons at once, you do get discounts on top of
Yeah, 5% discount if
so.
you sign up for 2 seasons, and 10% discount if you sign up for all 3.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about food, because I know you make some food here too. But what would you say is your? Let me see what this is all about here. Oh, I can't even smell it.
It's pretty mild right now.
Oh yeah, now I can smell it right at the roots. But I know I have some garlic right here, and I love garlic. Love it. And I guess it's healthy too. But what would you say is like your favorite vegetable that you grow, and your favorite thing to make with it?
Well, our cherry tomatoes are famous. You wait all year for that first real tomato, and we had 2 pints last week. So instead of selling them, I took one to my wife. I sold 1 pint. So every 2 days, I'm picking 40 pounds of cucumbers
Nice.
out of there, and they're crisp. We water them every day, and so they never get bitter, and they're perfectly wonderful. I love tzatziki, which is
Oh, yes.
a Greek thing that's made from, it's a dip that's made from cucumbers and Greek yogurt.
I love it too. And garlic.
And garlic and dill. Did I put some dill
I
in
think
there?
dill, yeah.
And my wife makes a cucumber salad where you just put mayonnaise and sprinkle herbs on it.
I know you have some solar too, so maybe like talk about that.
We have a solar array that runs the farm, that runs the kitchen and the barn, not the house, but and it produces quite a bit. I'd say $200 a month, probably, in electricity, depending on the price of electricity.
I think it's great what you do. I love being out here, and I think it's just beautiful. I appreciate you taking some time to talk about all of the ups and downs of organic farming. I mean, not all of them, but we touched on some of them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm gonna just like look around a little bit and see some more farm before I leave. But thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Sophie.
Nice to talk to you.